Okay, are we live? Are we live? Oh my God, are we live? We have so much to talk about today. Are we live? Yes, we are. Are we live? Yes, we are. Guys, we're about to cook today. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to the United Kitchen where we cook. I'll get cooked, guys. Where we cook. Sound, how are you doing? Where we cook. I'll get cooked, guys. Welcome to the evening roundup with Chef T, guys. And we have so much to talk about today. How are you doing? How was your day? Saud, how are you? How are you guys doing? For you guys that are here, you watching it later, hope you're doing well. Welcome to the United Kitchen, where we cook. We cook or we get cooked. And guys, it doesn't look like we're getting cooked at all. It looks like we are cooking. Guys, it looks like we are cooking. But guys, we have a lot to talk about today. We have a lot to talk about today, guys. I don't know where to start from. But I'm going to tell you the five major things we have to talk about today on the evening roundup. The first thing is we're going to talk about Shesko. Chesko! And we listened to his first interview today. He had his first training sessions today. So we're going to talk a bit about that and what we expect from Shesko. The second thing we're going to be talking about is Rasmus Højlund. And we've spoken a bit about this already, but I want to get your thoughts on this. What do you think about Rasmus Højlund and the situation with him, the AC Milan? We're going to talk about that. Guys, we're also going to talk about BALEBA! Carlos Baliba. Is it happening? Is it happening? Guys, if we get Baliba, we're going to cook as hell. We're going to talk about Baliba. First thing we're going to talk about tonight, Donnarumma. Cat. Donnarumma. Oof. We're going to talk about Donnarumma and what that means. Is Donnarumma coming? And the fifth thing we're going to speak about today is Garnacho and his ridiculous threat. Guys, I don't know if you've heard the most ridiculous threat in the world. Like, imagine a dude with, imagine you have like a huge machine gun and you have a little dude with a toy gun threatening you. And says, I'm gonna pop you, and I'm gonna like and it's all toys. Your gun is a toy, his gun is a toy, but it's like water guns. Imagine like a big one. You have a big water gun, and the other guy has a little water, and he's like, I'm gonna pipe you with this water." That's what Garnacho is doing. Garnacho, you're threatening you Manchester United. We're going to talk about that. Saud says apparently Baliba's personal terms are already fully agreed, and we just need to pay. Saud, we are going to get to that. Give me a few minutes, we're going to get to that. I promise you, we're going to touch on all those topics today. First things first, guys. Shesko. Shesko. I have a song. It goes, let's go, Shesko. Let's go, Shesko. See. I'll be honest with you guys, right? There was a time that last season where I absolutely stopped opening my Man U app. Like I was not opening Man U app. I wouldn't open the Man U website. Like I had like a serious, hate relationship with Manchester United. I didn't want to see any Man U content. I didn't want to see any Man U videos. I didn't want to see any Man U pictures. I didn't want to see anything. guys, now I can't stop opening the app. Guys, I just can't stop opening the app now. Like every time, you know, those times when like you do the number two in the bathroom, and you're like, okay, now that I'm going, I might spend a long time here. What do I watch? What do I read? Do I scroll on Instagram? Do I scroll on TikTok? I scroll on the Man U app, guys. Guys, I'm scrolling on the Man U app. It's crazy. I'm in love. Man U has a ridiculous way of pulling you back in. And guys, the Shesko signing has pulled me all the way back in. So today, Shesko's first interview came out. He spoke exclusively to the Manchester United. He said a lot of things, right? He said, in summary, he spoke about, how happy he is to be here, how, playing for a club like this has been his dream for a very long time, how the players have made him feel very welcome, which is really good to hear. Um, how he's going to give his all, he's going to give his everything on the pitch for, for Manchester United. He spoke about his best attributes. He says his best attributes are his speed, his what did he call it? His power kick. I think he called it. What is that? Damn, what's a noisy bike? I think he called it his power kick. He said his speed, his power kick, and I think it was his heading that he also mentioned. He said, if there's a cross, I'll be there. Like, just call my name, I'll be there. Shesko said if there is a cross coming into the box, he will be there. So, guys, how do you feel about Shesko's interview? Did you watch the interview? And how do you feel about that interview? See, I felt reinvigorated just by listening to the interview. As a fan, I felt very excited. Shesko made a really big decision for his career, right? The uh, Newcastle fans will always say um, they don't understand how why he came here. And we've said this so long and so many times on this channel that you just can't refuse Manchester United. That's the truth. Manchester United is a huge club. It's a big club. You can't say no to it. It's hard. It's really hard, right? Especially when the other club on the other side is not an Arsenal or a Chelsea. Shout out to those clubs. I have to give credit to them. Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool. If it's Newcastle, and apologies to Newcastle fans, but you just can't say no. You just can't. You absolutely can't say no to Manchester United. And then you could hear it in his interview today that he genuinely means it. And you can tell me that, oh yeah, all players when they go to new clubs, they all say it. I hear you. And I can understand and I respect that point of view, but I can only interpret from what he said. And I had a very strong sense that he did mean it. He really, really meant what every word he was saying. It seems like somebody who is ready to, you know, um, give his all to the club. He was also asked about being the first Slovenian to play for Manchester United, and he felt so proud about that also. He spoke about, he was asked about, the fact that you were the first person to get the Slovenian flag in Old Trafford. And he said how excited he was about that. So, it was a really, his English is good. Interesting, really, very good English. And he's very direct. He answers his questions very directly and he just goes straight to the point. So he gave off the impression of somebody who is really ready to work, just wants to put in the work, just can't wait to get started. That's the vibe that I got from Shesko. Um, Obviously, he mentioned again and again how his idol is Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and how he really would love to meet Zlatan Ibrahimovic one day. I know that they were there. I know United is going to make that happen. Like they're going to make it like a surprise for him. Like there's going to be. I can tell you what's going to happen already. There's going to be like content about it. Man U fan. They go to the dressing room and then Ibrahimovic just appears behind him and Shesko is shocked I know that content is coming out. I trust you, you know. Um, yeah, so he spoke a lot about wanting to get Man U back where we belong. And that's what I keep saying about the signings we've made this season. These signings should push us forward. That's what they should do. This signing we should not be where we were last season. Last season was a travesty. I hope I got that one right. I got that one right. Travesty. Yeah, it was despicable what happened last season. It should never have happened. 15th is unheard of. We just have to try to delete that memory from our brains, you know. And this signing should move us forward. The signing of Shesko, a proper striker, should move us forward. The signing of Mbuma and Mbuma and Konya should move us forward. And possibly the signing of a BALEBA or DONARUMA should definitely move us forward. So when he say things like that, the club is also acting in a way that seems like they do want to move us forward. So really happy about that. Saud said he seems really excited to be here, and he barely talked about himself as an individual, and always said something about the team and how it was like a family. Garnacho, take note. We're going to get to Garnacho, but just to build on what you said, Saud, you're absolutely correct. He more or less seemed he seems to be a person who this for him is a big privilege to be here. um, the players, he sees he sees it as a privilege to be playing with these players. Bruno, they asked him, have you met any of those players? And you could see the smile on his face when he said, I've met some of them, they seem to like me. Seems like somebody that wants to, this new guy that comes to school, you're a new guy, you come to a new school, you're probably a big shot in your former school, but now you come to this new school and everybody's cool. Like you probably were the coolest guy in your school. And then you come to this new school where everybody's literally cool and you're trying to, say hi to everyone, you're trying to make them your friends, and you respect them, you regard them, you're not there like, oh yeah, I'm Shesko, yeah, and everybody's in awe of you, like, ooh, Shesko. Nah, man, you're just one of the signings. You're one of Umbuemo. You're one of Konya. Arguably, those two are probably even a bit more, in the eyes of players, probably maybe more adored, if I say. Yeah, you cost more, but you're younger. You still have you were signing you as more as a potential, not the finished article. Umbuemo and Konya bagged, 20-ish goals assists last season. So they are, a bit more proven than you, definitely more proven than you in Premier League. And he gives off that attitude as, I know this and I respect this. And I'll respect the players and I'll be humble, put my head down and work. So I really like that about him. We also saw his first training sessions. We saw him using his head. Ooh, he used his head, guys. Uh, have you not missed that? Man U fans, have you not missed a striker that we use is have you not missed Hoyland? Okay, no. Hoyland is the next topic. But have you not missed a striker that will head the ball? Training, see that I know it's training pictures, training videos, yeah, that's all you're gonna say. But it just looked good. Guys, it looked good to see a proper number nine. And yeah, so the interview was a proper interview, was a good interview, was really good to hear from him, was good to see his training pictures. Is he going to be available to play on Sunday? I think so. I don't think he will start the game. I think he will come off the bench. I think that we'll play similar to how we started against in our last game against Florentina, where we'll probably have Konya as false nine and Mbuemo Mount. That's what I see happening. And probably Casemiro Bruno against Arsenal. I don't see Shesko starting, but I see him coming off the bench and possibly doing some damage against the Gunners. So yeah, so it was a good interview. Shout out to Shesko. Really excited to see you. Excited to hear from you. Excited to have you here. genuinely hope you score a lot of goals. Guys, the striker market this season is no, not even the market. Like the striker situation is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. The striker situation now, guys. I know you are probably hearing some noises. Some bikes are just doing going crazy. The striker situation is crazy, man. Wow, like it's so crazy. You have Shesko, you have Delap scoring, you have Pedro scoring, you have Jokeres scoring, you have Haaland is going to score. It's ridiculous. You have Ekitike scoring, man. Who's winning the Golden Boot, guys? That's the billion-dollar question. Who is winning the Golden Boot? Salah is still there, by the way. So Salah is still there for Liverpool. So who's winning the Golden Boots? That's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah. So, but looking forward to that. So that is for Shesko. That was a good chat about Shesko. Happy to have him here. Rasmus Højlund. So the second story obviously is about Rasmus Højlund is now open to an AC Milan move. Despite earlier indications that he wanted to remain with United, now reports today say that Rasmus Højlund is now open to a loan move to AC Milan. Reports suggest he's unhappy with the possibility of significant reduced playing time following Shesko's arrival. And even a blind man can see that. A deaf man can hear that. You know, it you Amorim, guys, Amorim is actually brutal. No, like no cap, guys. Ruben Amorim is actually very brutal. How do you have a striker on the bench? You have a striker, and then you go to the interview after and say the reason why some things didn't go well in the team was because you needed a focal point, a striker. You didn't hear me. You have a striker already on the bench, and then you go into the press conference, post-match press conference, and they ask you about the game, blah 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 blah, and you tell them, you say, you know what, blah blah blah. This is the reason why we didn't play this well. We could have played better if we had a striker. You literally had a striker, but the message was very clear. Hoyland, I don't trust you anymore. Hoyland, for now, I won't play you anymore. Shesko will start. I've spoken to the leadership. I've spoken to Jim. I've spoken to Omar. I've spoken to Jason. We think the best thing for you right now is a loan move or a possible sale, whichever comes first. And I think he's going for the loan move to AC Milan. And I do think it's the right thing to do. I'll be very honest with you. I wasn't very sold on this before. I wasn't sold on this before. I was more of the opinion that we should have Hoyland as an extra striker. mm, because he also had stated it severally that he would have benefited from some time off here and there, rest here and there if there was another striker to help him. That could have been a good idea. But thinking about it now and having time to reflect on it, I do think this is the right thing to do. Because if you think about the true situation, we don't have that many games. We are not in Europe. We only have Premier League weekly games, and the week we don't play Premier League, we have an FA Cup. And the only midweek match we would have, which will be sparring, is Carling Cup, Carabao Cup. And even those games, you want to play your second team. So you really don't have enough time for, you don't have enough games to accommodate a large squad. And then in the striker position, if you have Shesko, I would have kept Hoyland. That is my opinion. But if you have Shesko going to play week in, week out, um, and you have Umbuemo and Konya who will most likely play behind him week in, week out. So there's really no space for Zexi or Chido Obi. Because if you start a Chido Obi, so if you start a Zexi, it means that you're benching either Umbuemo or Konya if you start a Zexi. So that means you want to put Zexi behind Shesko. And obviously, that is not how Amorim wants to play it. He wants to play Umbuemo and Konya, meaning that Zexi will have limited game time. Meaning that if anything would happen to a Shesko, Zexi would be the striker to come in and play as a top nine. And maybe not as a top nine because that's not how Zexi plays, but he'll probably be that top nine that drifts back and allows Umbuemo and Konya to, go forward, which is also a good strategy, right? So if you have that in your arsenal, no pun intended, um, and you have you have Chidobe who left Arsenal for game time to Man U, um, then do you need a fourth striker? You probably don't. Because if you do have Hoyland, it definitely means that Chidobe is not getting any game time at all. Because it will be Shesko, Hoyland, Zexi, Obi. And you're playing only one game a week. So after analyzing it, thinking about it, and putting some thought into, some context to it, I think it's the best thing to do for him. I want a loan move. I don't think I want to sell. I would prefer a loan move where he goes, he um he um he kills it. He absolutely kills it. Um and then he gives us a tough decision. I want to have a tough decision at the end of the season, where he does so well. And Milan say, you know what, we're trying to get him for this amount of money. And we tell Milan that, you know what, you pay the money or he comes back to us. So that's why I think a loan is good. And I'll be very happy with a loan for, Hoyland. Respect to Hoyland. I like him as a person. I have to be blunt. He disappointed a lot last season, but it wasn't just him. The team was bad. The team was really bad last season. But if we then judge people, if we have to judge players individually, the team itself was bad, but in judging players individually, we know that Bruno was good most of the time. We know Majrai was a good player for us. We know Unana was crap. We know Maguire had good games a lot of times, and yeah. So we know Zexi played really well that back end of the season before his injury. So even though the team is crap, you can still judge players individually. And in judging Hoyland individually as a player, he was very disappointed, very disappointed. We depended on him a lot of times. Yeah, he struggled to put the fear of a striker in the defenders. He wasn't dominant in front. He wasn't able to get the ball to stick. He wasn't scoring enough goals. It was just not. And he had a lot of chances. Hoyland was our striker for a long time. Like that was the only option we had. We played him week in, week out. And yes, he can tell you that okay, that's the reason why, he wasn't playing well because he played a lot of games. But yeah, footballer, bro. Footballers play games. That's what they do. So a shout out to Hoyland, but I think the loan is the right thing to do. Because if he doesn't go on loan, he will be very unhappy. He'll be very unhappy. And we also are trying to build a different type of culture. And when we say different type, we're trying to, in my opinion, keep people who really reduce tensions, reduce drama, controversies, blah blah blah. You know, the Rasmus situation has already become dramatic. It has already become controversial, um, and I think the best thing for him is to leave now. So Rasmus again, I like you as a player, I like you as a person. Well, I don't know you personally, but from what we see, on social media, online also. We were very excited when you came. I was very excited. You came for a huge amount, almost 75 million. But it hasn't really worked out. It hasn't really. You had a few impressive flashes. I remember, I think it was a goal against Tottenham. There was a run. There was this goal where you ran almost half of the field and scored. Some good striker instinct goals early on also. So, you've had some impressive games. But what I would say is, I think this is a good time to just try something different. Test yourself, stretch yourself. Um, it's a World Cup year. You will go to the World Cup. Denmark don't have a lot of strikers, so regardless, you will be always selected as for Denmark. But you also want to go there in top form, playing well, scoring goals, playing regularly, and you won't get that in Manchester United. So the best alternative for you is to go on loan, go to a Milan, and um, and impress, score goals. You know, you've played in Italy before, right? You came from Italy, you were in Atalanta, so you lived in Italy before. It's familiar surroundings. Maybe that can give you something you're missing. Um, so yeah, you will go with a lot of love. You will go with a lot of blessings. You will go with a lot of goodwill. I don't think you have Manchester United fans that will come at you or wish you bad or hope you don't score goals. No, you will go with a lot of, our love, our support. But it's one of those things that it's 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 hard, but it has to happen. So shout out to Ireland for that. Okay, Belieber. I'm a believer. I'm a believer. The news today. The news today on Baliba is that Manchester United are continuing to be interested in Belieber. We continue to be interested. You know, Sky Sports has reported that though the move is complicated, but there are reports that we have agreed personal terms with Baliba's representatives. Reports, guys, reports. I don't know. It's just reports. But the club still need to settle on the fee, expected to be upward of 100 million. See, United, if you've done great things this season, this transfer window, amazing things. But if you do this Baliba deal, woo, cooking, cooking. Ah, hey, you will be absolutely cooking. Baliba is the midfielder that we need. E, that is the guy we need. What if you get Baliba in that midfield? Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 diggy, wow. Wow, 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 diggy, what, diggy, what, diggy, what. Guys, I'll be crazy, man. That would be absolutely crazy. You see, I don't need to tell you about Bali, but you know him. He's an amazing midfielder. Intensity, strong, you know, driving with the ball, energetic, good passing, carrier. He ball carrier. Beside Bruno, defensively disciplined. Oh, no, 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 no. That would be an amazing signing. I'll just say, let's try to get it done. Let us try to get it done. It's 100 million. See, eh, see, Brighton will always want that around that amount. See what they did with Caicedo. They will always want that amount. Even João Pedro went for, I think, 50 million. So they'll play around with the numbers. But if we can structure something, maybe, I heard today possibly 85 million, 15 million as add-ons. We're probably getting from Garnacho 40 million, get, a few millions from Rasmus Højlund also. It's possible. My point is the deal is possible and it's a fantastic deal to do. You know, you see, nobody will be mad at you for spending 100 million on Baliba. That is even rivals will understand. Even rivals will understand that no, that's money well spent because that guy is transformational in that midfield. So I genuinely hope we get it done. You know, it's going to be very complicated. It's going to be very hard. Brighton are going to play hardball. We know that. But let's see. See, we are Manchester United. You know, Fabrizio said, don't underestimate Manchester United. Don't. Don't. You know, Newcastle paid the price. Don't underestimate Manchester United. We can do it. We can get that deal over the line. Saud says if United were not going to pay the 100 million for Belieber, negotiations would never have come this far. I agree. I agree with you, Saud. I really have a strong feeling this deal will happen. If Brighton wasn't going to listen, they would have, you see, they would have informed us. Eh, Guys, we're not in the olden days where it was letters and, birds that they were taking, messages from one village to another village. Guys, we have WhatsApp. These guys communicate to each other. You think the director of football of Brighton does not know the director of Man U? Think he doesn't know Jason? Think they've not met in like think they've not exchanged numbers before? They're probably even on the same WhatsApp group. They're probably on a WhatsApp group called, directors in Premier League directors WhatsApp group. They're probably there. And they can pick each other's numbers out and say, yo, Jason, see, don't worry, we're not set. Like, don't stress it. And then Jason goes to tell me that, you know what, see, they've told us they're not set. They are thinking about it. Brighton are strongly considering it. I can tell you for a fact that Brighton are strongly considering. Obviously, when I say for a fact, I don't have any facts for it. But Brighton are strongly considering this. So we need to take advantage of this now. Belieber is one signing that will transform the way we play. We need that person beside Bruno. We need it. Nobody right now can play that position the way Baliba plays it. Menu is the closest we have to that, but he's not there yet. Menu probably just needs another season to almost be that type of player. Bruno obviously is a more forward playing midfielder. Ugarte, there's something wrong there. Casemiro legs are gone. So Bicolio still young. So we don't have a six. We don't. As I speak to you now, we have an eight, Bruno, two tens. We have a nine. We don't have a six. And that's what believer will do. So I'm a believer. I'm a believer in the fact that I believe. Say, I'm sing a song. There shall be miracles when you believe. Ah, believer, you better come. You better come, but I say, guys, it will get clearer this week. If you ask me my percentage, I'm 60-40. I'm 60% Belieber will come. 40% Brighton might just say, you know what? Not this transfer window. We need him. We need to keep him. But I'm 60-40. Donnarumma. Guys, PSG. PSG, they are not smiling. No. Guys, PSG are brutal. What? So you know the story with Donnarumma? He has one more year in his contract. PSG go like, you know what? You have one more year. Let's talk about your contract, or let's try to agree on something. And they couldn't agree. They couldn't agree. Or I don't know if it was on the length or on they just couldn't agree. And they say, you know what? We don't care for you anymore. I guess you know what? We're going to play a Super Cup. The only reason we're playing the Super Cup is because of you, Donnarumma. That if not for you, those saves you made against Arsenal, Barcelona, if not for you, no, did you play against Barcelona? No, you didn't, sorry. But if not for you, we would not be here. We would not be here. And yet we are not going to play you in the Super Cup. That's crazy. Guys, that is crazy. That's what's happening. So Donnarumma is available. Reports indicate that he has been made available for a reduced transfer fee. So that's good news. And has emerged as a top target for Man U as we look to strengthen the goalkeeping situation. How do I feel about that? See, at this point in time, I like Donnarumma. I see there is no goalkeeper that is not error prone. I have seen clips, but any goalkeeper can be clipped. To be honest, if I take my time, I can clip Noah and find errors. But I've seen clips, and people say he's also error prone. Okay, no worries. But he makes saves. Donnarumma makes proper saves. Onana is error prone and is not consistently making proper saves. I say, see, last season, I would always say it. That anything that looked like a goal, smelled like a goal, felt like a goal, if it went near Onana, it became a goal. There were a few times where he would make some good saves, but it was 20% of the time. With Donnarumma, you will get those saves 70% of the time. No jokes. With Donnarumma, you will get those saves 70% of the time. You will get errors. You will. Because I've seen some errors. But you will get saves. He will save you games. So I am very, very happy with the Donnarumma links. Let's see how that goes. Um, shouldn't be as complicated as the BALEBA deal. But United, we can only do one deal at a time. So I would advise Donnarumma to be patient, to hold on. We'll get we'll get to you, Donnarumma. I promise we will get to you. Just be calm, hold on, be patient. We can only do one deal at a time. And I promise you, as soon the day your Here We Go comes out, so the day the Here We Go for Baliba comes out, that same day, you will, Austin will announce that we've started having talks with you. So just be patient with us, Donnarumma. We'll get to you. But that would be a good upgrade. Because two things. Number one, obviously Onana needs that competition, 100%. But also number two, Onana is going for the African Nations Cup. It's going to be out for 5 games. 5 games can change your season. 5 games can absolutely take you from fourth to ninth. So if we're not going to have Onana, it's better we start planning for the possibilities now and have Donnarumma as our first choice keeper, right? So obviously not as a backup, as our first choice keeper. So the risk of Onana going to the Nations Cup is reduced. But although thinking about that Nations Cup, if we sign Baliba, we're losing 5 players, right? We're losing Onana, we're losing Baliba, we're losing Mbuemo, all three to Cameroon. We lose Mazraoui to Morocco, and we use Ahmad to Cote d'Ivoire. That's crazy. We're now an African team. Up Africa. Let's go. So yeah, Donnarumma's gist is a nice gist. And last but not the least, Garnacho. Garnacho. See, I want to be. We need to sell Garnacho, so I have to be careful what I say. Because Chelsea fans probably, Chelsea management, Chelsea fans, they're watching all the videos now. See, Garnacho, I'm trying to say something good about Garnacho, but it's not. I'm not Garnacho. So I heard that you said, you know what, if we don't get Terry to Chelsea, you're ready to wait 6 to 12 months. Yeah, just wait without playing. Wait in a World Cup year without playing, bro. We have space. You go wait, tired. See that Carrington? There's space. You want to wait, but you will just be there waiting. No, it's no pressure, no problem. Maybe you like to wait. But waiter, you will wait. You are waiting for Chelsea deal. Bro, if Chelsea don't bring the money we're talking about, you are going nowhere. You are going nowhere. And you'll stay with the under 21s till January. And if they still don't bring it in January, you're going nowhere. Bro, we don't need you. You need you. We don't need you. You need to figure out your career. So no issues. You don't want to go. Oh, you think we'll cry? Ah, you're a joker. If you don't go, no issues. Stay. Chelsea have to bring the bar. They have to bring the rubber. Rubber. Or you go nowhere. So those are the five big news. Five big stories today. So see, everything is still cooking. Everything is still cooking. Let's see what happens tomorrow. You know, everything is still cooking. Obviously, we started with Shesko, happy about the interview. Rasmus still cooking. The AC Milan deal, we still don't know how that was going to happen there, but it's still cooking. The BALEBA transfer still cooking. Let's see what happens there. Donnarumma linked to Old Trafford is still cooking. Garnacho to Chelsea is still cooking. So there is a lot in the kitchen at the moment. There is a lot, on fire. So let's see how everything goes. We'll be back tomorrow to see where we are with these topics. Guys, don't forget, cook or you get cooked later.